Now, parliamentary inquiry into suspended Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane's fitness to hold office continues today. Senior manager in the PP's office, that's Punatseho Mohaladi, is providing evidence for the committee in the Section 194 inquiry. Yesterday, the inquiry heard from former executive manager in the PP's office, that's Lufuno Ndo, when Dalimpofu completed his cross-examination. Ndo testified that at no point did he feel intimidated or harassed by Mkhwebane. Let's take you live there now.
Also the acting COO, Chief Operations Officer, right?
Correct.
And she also was occupying her substantive position as the executive manager for CSM, right?
No, there was somebody who was acting at the position at the time, who was acting on her position as executive manager CSM, because she was acting on full-time basis on the position of COO.
Right, so she had two acting positions at the time. It was acting COO and acting executive manager for GGI.
Correct.
And that's when you were requested to become the acting executive manager for GGI.
Correct.
All right. So you say when you were requested by Mr. Mahlangu to act as GGI, as we shall call it, you were a bit apprehensive. Why were you apprehensive? You were apprehensive, I suppose you've explained it already, but just
yes,
for context, you've already described what the AJSD division did. Just for context, for a fuller context on your apprehensions. But the GGI division, you said, was dealing with more complex and technical cases, correct?
Correct.
But then you received a letter of appointment from the PP, appointing you to your acting position as GGI, right?
Correct.
Tsepo, can you go to PM1, which is on page 3917? Yeah. Is that the letter that you got from
Correct.
the PP?
Correct.
So this letter says, in this letter, the PP says, it gives me pleasure to advise you that I have approved your appointment as acting GGI with effect from 1 November 2018 until further notice. She says, as executive manager GGI, you will oversee the GGI branch and the 3 chief investigators in GGI will report directly to you. So you are going to have 3 chief investigators in GGI reporting to you, right? As the acting executive
Correct.
manager. So in your portfolio as the executive manager for AJSD, which was your substantive position, how many chief investigators did you have reporting to you?
I had 2.
Right. So this meant that you would now have 5 chief investigators reporting to you, right?
Correct.
And the PP then tells you that you kindly requested to accept these responsibilities without an acting allowance, as the institution is currently facing serious budgetary constraints and can no longer afford paying acting allowances. Although you will not be paid an acting allowance, I believe that you will still benefit from performing these responsibilities from a development perspective. All other terms and conditions of your employment will remain the same. I wish you success with all additional responsibilities given to you, and I hope you will continue to contribute effectively to the achievement of the PPSA's strategic objectives. You see that?
Correct.
But you say in your affidavit that you go back to the affidavit. Paragraph 17. You say that you accepted this appointment with conditions, right?
Correct.
And in those conditions, you noted you made a handwritten note in the letter written to you by the PP that the appointment is accepted on the understanding that the leadership will support me to deal with the backlog of cases at GGI, right?
Correct.
And by leadership, you meant who?
I meant the Public Protector, the Deputy Public Protector. At the time, it was Advocate Malunga, and the CEO, and at the time, it was Mr. Mahlangu.
And you said in that note, I'll be managing 2 positions that are demanding, and accepting the additional responsibility will not be seen as compromising my position, but instead I will be supported to ensure the success of the 2 branches, right?
Correct.
Did you discuss with the PP the specific forms of support that was necessary to make the 2 branches successful in this new arrangement?
I did not discuss with the Public Protector personally, but I had discussions with Mr. Mahlangu because he first approached me, and as I stated, I was a bit apprehensive, so we had some discussions around this matter, and when I discussed with him, I raised some of my concerns and also what sort of support I would have
expected. Live visuals there, as you can see, from Parliament, and that's the Senior Manager in PP's office, Punatsego Mokhaladi, who's providing evidence for the committee that is looking into the Public Protector's fitness to hold office.